Good morning, welcome back to our channel Live Well with Facts Therapy. We film about relationship, we film about conflict. Thank you for the support so far. Thank you for liking our videos. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you. May God bless you. So we have a very juicy topic for us today, which says, is it ideal for a lady to propose to a man? I'm here with Mrs. Margaret Adedeji. She has a fast track record in dealing with women, in dealing with youth, and I know that she's loaded. She has a lot to offer us this day. So carry your chair, sit back, and I believe you won't waste your time. Thank you so much. Welcome, ma.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience again.
Wow. I'm Margaret Adedeji, the CEO, Better Living Foundation and Capacity Development, a non-profit organization that centers on the well-being and leadership development of women and youth. I'm also, by God's grace, the convener of the latest Sisters Intercessory Forum. Thank you.
She's loaded. Thank you, ma. Thank you for coming. Thank you for answering to her call. So we have a topic today that I want you to shed more light for us on. The question, is it ideal for a lady to propose to a man? So because nowadays, in the secular world, maybe let me just say all aspects of life outside marriage, people believe that things supposed to because the world is revolving, so we have to modernize everything. You know, for instance, the Bible, there was a time we carried this big Bible. Now you can easily access your Bible on the phone. A lot of things before we use our hand to eat. Now there's cutleries, there are so many things. But when it comes to the issue of marriage, we still believe in these old ways of doing things, especially maybe in this part of the world.
Yeah.
That when it comes to marriage, you will hear the saying that the woman, you are supposed to do this one, you are supposed to do that one. Why is it like that? Why is it that the way we handle other secular things, other things that we find ourselves doing, why can't we handle marriage like that? Why must we keep following this principle, this old principle, let me say these traditional principles?
Well, that's a good one. Talking about secular things, where you said there are changes and all of that, it has to do with the involvement of technologies in the use of things. So, like the eating thing now, you understand, there's new, every day we have new cutleries. In every other secular world, the technology in terms of the phone, now almost everything you can get on the phone and all of that. But you see, marriage is an institution that we haven't been able to get a new technology at making use of it or improving it. So there's no technology that you can use to improve your marriage. There is no technology you can use to detect whether a man or a woman will be truthful all through the marriage. There is no technology that can actually tell you, oh, that's the kind of wife you should marry, go for her, or that's your husband, go for her. So that's why you see that today we are still using the method, the principles, because I wouldn't say old as it were, but we are still using the principles in marriage that we have known all our lives, except now that exposure has come. So a lot of youth, singles, and even some married women now already have, new ways of tackling certain issues in their marriage.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Even people that are not Christian, you hear them, they know this verse. Men are to submit, men are to do this, men are to do that one. While the wife, that's the woman, this is your role in a marriage. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you are supposed to do. This has been like that. So now, are we saying that it is not ideal for a woman to propose to a man? Maybe she has feelings for that man, and maybe she has been expecting the man to come forth and say, okay, I like you, I want to be your husband, I want to do this one, I want us to start this journey together. And the man is not forthcoming. So what do you think? Do you think it's ideal for the woman to propose, or she should just keep quiet?
Anytime this topic comes up, it's usually elicits smile, laughter, and all the rest. So it's actually funny, because from the way we are, from the way we've been evolving, especially in this part of the world, it has always been the man coming to propose to the lady. You know, just imagine a lady say, wow, hello guy, I love you, you're my sugar in the sugar in my tea, you're my honey, just looking at you, I feel like eating you up. Oh God, will you marry me? It will sound awkward. Not because it is wrong. I always tell people, not because it's wrong, but because that's just the societal norms. Because there are certain things called societal norms, and in tackling societal norms, you have to have social skills. So that's the one thing we will also look into. There's nothing wrong in a woman going to propose to a guy, but there's no way, if the woman wants to do it, there's no way the woman will do it the exact way the guy would do it. Now, why would guys walk up to a lady and say, wow, I love you, will you marry me, or will you date me? It's because men are attracted to sight. And so the minute they see a girl, not about the physical fashion that the girl is putting on, no, but it could be something unique in that girl. It's gonna be physical at first. And so there's this, adrenaline that will be released in the guy, and that will push out the guy. The passion will rise, and then the guy
what the guy sees in that lady, another guy might not see.
Another guy might not see.
Even the girl might not know that she has that potential.
That is it. It could just be the way she smiles. Maybe the guy just wants to go, I say, wow, I love that. So that thing propels him to go ask. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's the woman, it gets attracted by softness, by what we hear. You understand?
Thank you, ma. To buttress what you've said, to me, I believe that guys, they like it when they woo a lady themselves.
Yeah.
They love it because of should I say their ego, or they just like going through the stress, because like what you said, ma'am, that there must have been something in that lady that attracted them, that made them fall in love with that lady. So if you really like this guy and you know that this guy likes you, is just not popping out the question, you can ask him his feelings about you so that you won't be mixing it up.
Yeah.
And even if he's not even popping out the question, you like him, you can go close to him, move close to him, check up on him, talk to him. With that, it's not because it's not everybody that likes a lady that can just come out. There might be some underlying factors that is hindering the guy from acting you out. Maybe to him, he might feel that I'm not yet at that stage of acting a lady out. But for you to know that this guy has interest in me, you might use a way. So it's not even compulsory for you to just open up your mouth and say, guy, do you like me? Guy, I want to date, I want us to be dating. So that will bring me to the question, acting out is different from proposing.
Yeah.
So what's your take on it? Can a lady, you can act him out, but can a lady propose? So let us know the difference.
Okay. There's nothing wrong in a lady asking a guy out on a date. As a matter of fact, if you have a feeling for that guy, and you just have to first of all know what kind of feeling you're having for him. If it's just for sex, there's nothing wrong in seeing that guy and saying, oh, I have some sexual feelings towards you. But you just have to know as at what point, because you don't just say it on the streets. You don't just say it anyhow like that. And then you must know that kind of a guy. And then if it's sexual feelings,
maybe sexual urge for that guy.
Sexual urge for that guy. That is talking about lust.
Yeah.
Because lust is different from love.
And it might not lead you
It won't lead you into anywhere. So we need you to understand it, that as much as you have the right, the freedom to inform another person, no matter the sex of that person, of your sexual feelings, you should also know the consequence. That's because I know most teenagers might also be watching this program. There's nothing wrong in having sexual feelings. There's nothing wrong making your sexual feelings known. But you just have to know that there's a consequence, so that you don't end up being used and dumped. that you have sexual feelings or a guy has sexual feelings towards you does not mean that it will lead to anything. It doesn't give that guy or you any commitment that you must be together. So you understand, if the sexual feelings, please, there are ways of dealing with that. I think we still mentioned that later in the show, but we are talking about real feelings, that real love feelings that could lead to marriage. I will cite an example. A lady walked to me in the office and told me that she had received the guy in quotes. So I asked her, no, leave the religious term. Just tell me. She said she knows that within her, she's convinced that the guy is her husband to be. And I was like, okay, why? Have you known him and all of that? Now, what I'm trying to say is that I told her to invite the guy either to her home or take that guy out. So she fixed a date. Thank God they were already on talking terms and kissing terms and all of that. So she invited the guy, took the guy out, and apparently that was the first time a girl, a woman, a lady would ask a guy out. So the guy was like, wow.
You know that man appreciated it, but another man might take you for granted. Might just feel on top of the world. He might not do it well. So that is why we differ, because our personality differ. A guy might appreciate it, that this lady is actually coming out to tell me how she feels about me, and another guy might just use it against you. Might just say, so this girl likes what she sees. As in, they start feeling on top of the world. So you have to know the kind of person you are dealing with.
So back to your question, is it ideal for a woman to propose? Yes and no. It's ideal in the sense that if that guy is mature and you are also mature, eligible for marriage, and you know you really want to go into marriage, and you are convinced that you are compatible, you are convinced that yes, I'm right for this guy and this guy is right for me, there's nothing wrong. What will happen is that you will only have to allow things to take shape. You understand? Because you don't just rush in. We have 4 major types of temperament. We have the sanguine, we have the choleric, we have the phlegmatic, we have the melancholist.
She's a psychologist yet.
So if you meet with I'll tell you the reaction of each of these temperaments. If you walk up to a sanguine and say, wow, I've been having these feelings towards you and I'm convinced that you will be the right one for me, a sanguine will very much appreciate you, can hug you, take you out, and then will proclaim to everybody that, wow, this lady is mature, I love her and all of that, even though you might not be sure that he loves you in return. Now, a choleric will look at you and be like, why did you have to come out? Why are you telling me? That's the first question a choleric will want, because they always want to be sure. And then a choleric too will appreciate it, because cholerics and sanguines are expressional. They're expressive. They're expressive, they're outspoken and all of that. So a choleric will still appreciate you. But there are questions the choleric will ask. You understand? And well, you might end in a date or something. Now you ask a phlegmatic will first of all recoil. He will recoil into a shell. He will want to look like, is there any other thing? Why did she come to me? Then a phlegmatic will not actually give you the answer you desire at that time. They love to get back, think about it, and then they even get shy coming to ask. So that's why I said, if it's ideal for a lady to propose, if that guy, you are sure, because phlegmatics can actually be in love and not
they won't be able to express themselves. It's not as if they don't have the feeling.
They have the feelings. So if it's that kind of a guy who has the feelings, who has been showing it, please, my girl, arrange or design a meeting point. Invite him out to a dinner and give him the space and ask him straightforwardly, how do you feel about me? Okay, but for the melancholy, please don't try it that way. They're always very critical. They think And I love them for one thing. They don't do anything or take a step without thinking. If it takes them like a decade to think before coming back to tell you, okay, I will do, it will take them that long. Yeah, that's just it. So having known this temperament, these 4 types of temperaments, we might have more than that, but then just the 4 basic ones, you should understand who as a lady you are dealing with and how to approach each of those 4 temperament. But then for a lady to propose marriage, is she the one that will actually pay for the wedding thing?
No, no. No, you know, there are some, I think I've heard the story. A guy actually proposed, but they were in this courtship for like 7 years. In fact, you know, there's this time they call them Lord of the Rings. The ring will be there, but there will be no step forward. You are just, you know that you're engaged to this person.
Yeah.
So in that kind of a situation, the lady can just sit him down and guy, what are we doing? Where are we going to? Are we just going to remain on this spot?
In that kind of situation, please, if you are in that kind of situation, please, ideally buy a ring and propose. Kneel down, propose.
No, this one the guy has proposed, but there's...
I know, but the proposal has expired. If after 7 years he's not making any further move, re-propose.
To him.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong in that because you're already kind of joined together.
Yes.
The courtship has run into semi-marriage.
Yes.
So at that point, please re-propose. Get a ring for him. And please, for 7 years, if you're dating a guy for a year and you still feel you want to stay in that marriage, please start saving for the wedding because that's the excuse he would tell you, hey, money and all that.
Yes.
But when you have shown him the alerts on your account, if
it's really serious,
if he gives you another excuse, please walk out of that marriage.
that means it's just taking your time.
Yeah.
And for those that are already in a relationship, the guy has not proposed and they've been dating for 5 years, what do you have to say?
My dear, propose. Propose, please. There's nothing wrong in that one. It's 100% ideal that you propose because already you've gone beyond proposal stage.
Even before proposing, she can sit him down to ask him, guy, where are we going to? What's your plan for me? Because a guy might be dating a lady without the intention of getting married to her.
And then the lady will
and still, the lady is still there waiting for him to propose.
More often than not,
the
lady always asks.
Yes.
There's no lady that will be in relationship for 5 years that will not have asked for like 5 times. At least once in a year. Or each time the girl's friends are getting married, the girl will be like, boy, guy, how far? When is our own? Yeah. So you really need to know your onions.
To even know your stand.
Know your stand. And my mommy, I don't know, but please don't waste your time anymore. Because at that point, that love, that feeling he's having for you is no longer love. It's still infatuation.
Yes.
Because there are three different feelings. Infatuation, love, and lust.
Yeah. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. I believe you've been able to grab 1 or 2 things from what we've been saying so far. So it is not a sin for you to propose to a guy, but you have to know what you are getting yourself into. You have to know because you might just see a guy from far. You might like him, you might like the way he dresses, you might like the way he talks, you might like him because he's filled with emotion, maybe the way he treats his younger ones, the way he treats his mother, and you might just feel that, this is a good husband material. But you have to get close to this person. Start from being his friend. Know if this person is truly what you want. If he really has the quality you look out for in a man. So asking a guy out is different from proposing to a man. So we are telling you this morning that you have to know the guy very well. Know what you are getting yourself into. So don't just leap. You have to take a step at a time and don't just wait forever. So if it warrants you proposing to him, sure, go ahead, we have your back, propose to him. And if you know you need someone to guide you, to do that for you, to guide you, we are here. You can reach out to us. You can, people that are close to the guy, or you look for a good counselor that can guide you on the right path. Thank you so far. So, do you have anything to
Yeah,
round up
I'll
with?
just round up with these two experiences. One is personal, the other one is not. Now let me start with the one that is not personal. There was a Christian girl who prayed as it were and received a brother, got to see in different instances that that brother was the husband, okay? And then she made that move because during that year, the service year was almost ending. So she made the move, looked at the brother, and was like, I prayed, told the brother the stages that she had passed through in praying and dreaming and all of that, and said, look, it's obvious that the Holy Spirit is saying you're my husband. And the brother laughed, just like you laughed. And they closed the chapter there. Service ended. 4 or 5 years down the line, the brother got to see the sister somewhere, and that was the first time the brother had this feeling that, wow, that could be my wife. And so when he went back to the sister didn't waste time to say yes.
Because that's what she's been waiting for.
And she has been praying all of those times. She has seen her pastor, and the pastor said, look, if he's the one, just pray that if it's the will of God should bring it into reality. And that was it. Now a personal one. When my husband first proposed, I was like, what? No. I'm not even ready for marriage. No, don't go there. So he kept quiet. And then we kept seeing, because at that time I reduced my seeing him. Before then, we were friends, could go to his office, do 1 or 2 things and all of that. We were in the same NGO sector together and everything. So I stopped, I reduced the number of times we see and all of that.
Because you already asked you out.
Yeah, after he had asked me out. Then one day, I was just in the room at night. I just, okay, let me say my prayers before I will sleep. Only for me to get to see some things, open to so chapter. I opened, I read. It didn't make meaning to me at first. Then from within, because the way I hear is I perceive. So I just perceived the Holy Spirit beginning to talk, marriage, all of that. I was like, this one that there's no brother. I mean, I'm not ready yet. So as at the time I got to realize I was the one, I was like, Holy Spirit, how do I go and face him again? After telling him no. And months had passed. So that same night, I picked up my phone. I didn't wait for bro to come and propose again. I picked up my phone because I didn't want to miss him.
Yes.
So that after many months of saying no, and then the long distance, the gap had created, picked up the phone. Hello, that was around 3:00 a.m. Hello, and at one time he picked. I was like, are you not sleeping? He was like, no. You too, are you not sleeping? That's how the gist started. He didn't have to propose again. I was one that was making moves for us to get closer again. So I'm saying this so that ladies, like what the host was trying to say, don't get tied down by traditions. Understand at what point you should make a move. And understand at what point you should let the guy realize that, is this feeling leading to marriage or not? And we are not so much eating on dating. We are looking into marriage. So nothing is wrong in a lady going to propose to a guy, depending on the circumstance or situation. Yet, at the same time, we are not saying you should be overly loose.
Yeah.
That you just feel sexual feelings and just walk up to the guy and then you just tell the guy and all of that, and then you come around later to say, did you tell me? Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share, and don't forget to drop your comments. And thank you, ma. Thank you for coming around.
You're
We really do
welcome.
appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you so much.
See you.